Nextstar is one of the leading companies in the supply of scanners in various types. In this tutorial, we try to show you a correct scan in full and from the beginning and the stage of selecting the land to the final stage and analyzing the scan performed in the software. The first step of the scan is to select the scan location where we think the anomaly is located. The condition of an ideal scan requires that the scan site be flat and with very little unevenness. Select the dimensions of the scan area so large that the entire target you are looking for is completely in your scan area. The size of an ideal scan is 3 to 4 times the size of an anomaly. After selecting the location of the scan and its dimensions have been determined, in our example, a ground with dimensions of 2 meters by 2 meters, determine the distance of the scan lines based on the dimensions of your scan. By line, we mean the direct routes on which the scan is performed so that the entire selected location is covered by our scan. We divided 10 lines of 20 centimeters. The smaller the line spacing, the higher the scan resolution and scan accuracy. The starting point of the scan, which is selected from one of the 4 corners of the place, and turn on your device using the button on the top of the sensor. There are 2 other buttons on the sensor. The first one is called New Line and Bottom for scanning as well as Grand Balance. Going to the starting point, we open our software to start the process. GMI's proprietary software for easy and very accurate scans has been developed by Nextstar and exclusively for the company's products. First, we need to specify the type of scan. The scans embedded in the dedicated GMI software are visible. In this part of the tutorial, we are going to describe the unique scan in full, so we choose the unique scan option. By selecting unique scan, we must enter the dimensions of the land we want in the software. The ground we selected as the scan location was 2 by 2 in length and width, so we enter these numbers in the space marked on the image and in front of the words length and width. Then we have to specify the type of scan direction. In unique scan mode, there are 2 types of directions called parallel and zigzag. The selection of each of these 2 types determines how we navigate to perform the scan. As you can see in the video, in the parallel mode, the scan is done in one direction, that is, when the scan is completed, we go to the beginning of the next line and continue the scan. In other words, the scan is always done in one direction. In zigzag mode, as shown in the figure, after scanning the line, we scan the next line in the opposite direction to the previous line. In other words, the scan is done in 2 directions. The scanning process begins physically. It starts with holding down the data button. Note that when performing a unique scan, we must move on the marked lines at a constant speed and always keep the sensor at a 90-degree angle and a short distance from the ground. GMI's proprietary software allows users to view scan results simultaneously on the software. It should be noted that the sensor should be placed vertically and as seen in the video during the scan, so that the arrow is always facing down. It is also important to note that the distance of the sensor from the ground must always be a constant number so that the results obtained are the most accurate and reliable analysis among similar devices. As you can see in the video, data recording and ground condition can be seen accurately in the software. Reaching the end of each line, we go to the beginning of the next line by pressing the New Line button and hold down the Data Recording button again. In each image, the 2 scanning forms are fully visible in parallel and zigzag. Another unique feature of GMI software is that it allows you to do so if you want to continue. If you don't have a single line scan, hold down the New Line button for 3 seconds or change the built-in software button on your line, and the software will intelligently fill in for you to continue scanning. We do not recommend using this option for a detailed scan. After scanning, the exact location of the anomaly can be seen in the software. Using the effects option in the side menu, we can see the results of our scan in 3 dimensions and in different situations. It should be noted that with the Smart Storage feature, the scan is saved automatically. We can also view the results of our scan as a wireframe or point, each of which can help you analyze the data collected. By selecting the depth option, the exact location of the anomaly, the length, width, and depth of the source on the software, is determined. After completing your scan analysis, the exact location of your target will be displayed according to your selected unit. To find the exact location of the anomaly on the ground, go to the starting point of the scan. The numbers written in the software for the anomaly are scanned from the start point. Our selected scanning ground has 3 axes of length, width, and height. We find the length and width of the anomaly and place it on it. Now, according to the number specified in the software for the depth of the anomaly, it is exactly below our feet, and we only need to go to the desired depth and achieve the specified anomaly. In this part of the tutorial, we want to point out how to scan correctly and common mistakes that may occur during scanning. At the end of the tutorial, we want to point out the most important points for unique scanning. The most important thing in performing this type of scan is to keep the sensor vertical at all times and also to keep the distance of the sensor from the ground constant. The next important point in scanning is that you should avoid swiping and shaking the sensor to scan. The constant speed of movement is another requirement of proper scanning. Our movement during scanning should not be accompanied by acceleration. To perform a professional scan, you need to be calm enough and avoid hasty movements during the scan. Next, start company, by making daily efforts and providing devices based on the latest technology in the fields of electronics, software, and artificial intelligence, has brought you the easiest, most accurate, and most enjoyable scan. Dear customers,